I'm a sleeping student.
No, you're gonna wake up. It's time for class, Jacob.
You want to just skip class and play Minecraft?
Okay. Hello and welcome to Marvel Cinematic University. I am your professor and host, Alex, and with me, as always, is the worst student ever, Jacob. I think we nailed that.
That was pretty good.
I can only imagine that everybody understood everything that was said, and our vocals didn't get jumbled in any way whatsoever. Definitely isn't death to the ears.
We blew out a couple eardrums. People turned it off, unsubscribed. The podcast is dead.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter how dead this gets. We'll keep making it.
Oh, boy.
Well, how can you kill something that has never been revived?
It's a dead horse, and we'll continue to kick it.
Hell yeah. This week, we're going to be kicking the dead horse of Spider-Man Homecoming.
Ooh.
As that was the last thing I made you watch, since last week we watched the Groots, and so I thought time to get out of space and back into New York. It's been a while since we've been in New York.
Yeah. Spider-Man coming at home.
Nothing. No, I think you've got the title. I think you watched the wrong one.
Oh,
let me ask you just to see if you watched the right one. In how many scenes is Aunt May wearing clothes?
The first one.
What?
And
just the first scene?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You definitely watched the wrong one.
Still played by Marissa Tomei, though.
Oh, can you send me that link?
Yeah.
All right. So this week we're talking about Spider-Man. With a budget of $175 million, would you like to guess what its box office was, Jacob?
960 million.
I'll have you know that is the closest you have been so far. It is 880.2 million. So you're only 100 million off.
That's pretty close. Usually I'm about 4 or 5 mil.
Last week you were 1.5 billion off, on Guardians Week. This was directed by Kirsten Lepore.
No,
it wasn't. It was actually directed by John Watts, and it stars Tom Holland, Zendaya, Jacob Batalon, Michael Keaton, Robert Downey Jr., Marissa Tomei, and Laura Harrier.
Jon Favreau.
Oh yeah, and Jon Favreau. I thought I had him on this list, but I guess not. This film takes place approximately 6 months after Civil War. It is kind of a direct follow-up from Civil War in Spider-Man's view.
Pretty much. He's got that Stark scholarship, and he's trying to make the most out of it.
He's doing the Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
That's how the movie opens up, kind of, with a cinematic version.
Pretty much.
Well, Jacob, it's time for you to thread the web of plot that is Spider-Man Homecoming.
Spider-Man. Well, this web, let me tell you, it's going to have a lot of holes in it. I don't really know the bad guy's name, to be honest with you.
It's well, let's put this together. He's got sharp claws, right?
Is his name Sharpie Claw?
He's got wings, and he looks like a bird, a type of bird that might even be known as a vulture.
This is Hawkeye, isn't it?
Yeah, the villain is Hawkeye. You caught me.
Is it Vulture?
It is the Vulture, man. It's actually just the Vulture, but we can include man too.
I like Vulture Man better.
Vulture Man. Because it's Michael Keaton, who also played Batman.
Yeah.
And he also played Birdman. He likes birds. This guy likes birds.
This guy loves winged creatures.
I also want you to know Michael Keaton is the reason you have to watch Morbius one day. You're going to get morbid and you're going to think, boy, Hulk was a good movie.
I see. Let's see if Hulk has a page in the old book here.
Who has a page? Vulture? I'm going to guess that even Spider-Man doesn't even have a page in the book, but I could be wrong.
See, this book is weird. Like, Spider-Man does have a page in this book. There's pictures from Spider-Man, like in Infinity War, but there's like nothing really past Guardians 1 in here.
Oh, weird. So you're saying there's pictures from Infinity War, but there's nothing, like no new characters after Guardians.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, go ahead and tell us that plot. We're all waiting.
Well, let me weave this web for you.
Weave us the web.
So it starts off with the Vulture Man, who has just gotten a lucrative contract to clean up the Shitari mess.
No, it's pronounced Chitari.
The Shitari mess.
Okay, sorry.
And then they're like, "Hey, guy, you can't do that anymore. We're taking this contract away."
So that Stark can make money off of his own mess.
Pretty much. A little double dip in there. Then he's like, whatever, not happy. I think he punches the guy, which you really shouldn't do. It's not good for business.
Wow, that was a great Michael Keaton impression. Can you do that again?
Okay. He's like,
I can't wait to edit that with fucking Michael Keaton talking over you.
And then he's like, oh, wait, we forgot to give him this one pallet of Shitari scrap.
Shit mess, the shit mess. We forgot to give them the shit mess.
Yeah, we forgot to give them the shit mess. They're like, let's keep it, you know? What's a pallet?
What's a pallet of shit, Tari?
What's a pallet of shit to Tony Stark? But let's make some pretty sick weapons and gadgets, including a suit modeled after a vulture.
Wow, you got it.
That's pretty much the movie right there. I mean,
that's definitely the first part of the movie before the credits roll.
Yeah, for sure. Peter Parker's doing like some nerd math competition.
Not the nerd math competition.
And Aunt May's consistently worried about his safety because a lot of stuff's like happening around the city. That might be like a little more, but I assume she's always worried for his safety.
Yeah, it's kind of like her whole thing.
Yeah, because Uncle Ben, dead.
He got shot somewhere off screen.
Yeah, they could have included that in the movie. I think that's a vital part to Spider-Man.
Here's the reason they didn't. There's a specific reason they didn't include that in this movie. You see, this movie was released in 2017. In 2012, we saw Uncle Ben get shot on screen in a theater. In 2001, we saw Uncle Ben get shot on screen in a theater. So by 2017, everybody knew that there was a Ben that would get shot.
It's implied. It's highly theorized that he got shot in a theater.
We don't even see this kid get bit by a spider. We just know.
Yeah. He mentions it.
Yeah. It's just assumed he was bit by a spider.
He has this fancy little Spider-Man suit from Tony Stark, and he's pretty much just waiting for Tony Stark to give him another mission.
Yeah, and he keeps blowing up Happy Hogan's phone.
He's trying to be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but I think he's like kind of robbing innocent people and beating them up.
How was he robbing innocent people and beating them up? Oh yeah, I guess he did beat that one guy up by accident.
Yeah, there was that one guy.
It was just one guy though.
Open his car, and I think he took that guy. I think that was that guy's bike, to be honest with you.
He brought the bike back and said, if you're missing this bike.
He put a post-it note on there.
Yeah, it's gonna get to the right person in New York, of course.
That thing got stolen by someone else. The follow-through on this I don't appreciate. And then he kind of runs into the Vulture guy, and they have a little scrap under a bridge.
No.
Yeah.
Because first he does all his stuff. He does the Spider-Man-ing around the city. He doesn't run into the Vulture until the party, right? Is that way later?
That's way later.
When does he?
That's like the end of the movie.
My brain can't remember when he met the Vulture the first time.
It was under the bridge.
Under what bridge?
There was a bridge, and they were doing an arms deal with the new technology.
That's at the party.
That's not at the party.
Yeah, it is, because the party's happening, and then Peter has to do the Ferris Bueller Day stuff to run away from the Vulture.
No, because the ferry's in between.
The ferry's after that.
Are you talking about like I'm thinking of the prom or the dance, the homecoming dance.
Right. Yeah, I'm talking about the party, the house party that they go to.
The house party, yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, because there's a bunch of school stuff that happens. We learn that Peter's in decathlon and that his teacher is the guy from The Incredible Hulk. And then he gets invited to Flash's party because he knows Spider-Man. Hold up. We've missed something here, because after he does all his Spider-Man stuff, Ned finds out he's Spider-Man. That's what we were missing.
Yes, Nedward finds out.
Nedward finds out he's Spider-Man, and then like all throughout school, he's asking him Spider-Man questions like, where does the web come out of? And can you control an army of spiders?
Cannot. That's an Ant-Man reference.
I guess you could consider that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then they some kids are talking about which heroes they're gonna bang, and his pal there, Ned, goes, "Oh well, Peter knows Spider-Man, so Flash invites him to the party, but he has to bring his pal Spider-Man."
Yeah, I think that's what we missed there.
Yeah, and then before we get to Under the Bridge, Peter goes to go put on the Spider-Man costume to be like, "Yo, what up? I'm Spider-Man, and now I can date that girl I want to date." But he gets interrupted by a big explosion, and then he goes to check out what the explosion is, and that's when we get under the bridge.
Now we're under the bridge.
Yeah, now we're under the bridge.
Not water under the bridge, but Spider-Man under a bridge.
Right. Spider-Man under a bridge.
And then they have a little fight. They go poof, poof, poof.
Yeah, and this is where we meet Donald Glover, Mr. Community Man.
Yeah, he's returning from community college.
Yeah, Community, the show.
Yeah, the show, I've heard. It's the one that's confirmed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It's not confirmed, but it's definitely highly alleged from us. But yes, he's making his appearance as Aaron Davis, who is the Prowler in the comics.
Oh, the Night Prowler.
No, just the Prowler.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're selling him shit, and then Spider-Man's like,
No, not in my city. Very bad man.
And there's a whole chase scene, and it's a homage to Ferris Bueller's Day Off when he's running through the backyards to try to get home in time.
Yeah, and then he does this when he ends up in like the Supermax security place.
Oh, you didn't watch this movie at all.
I was working when I watched it.
Yeah,
I don't have time to watch it that night.
He's still, so he gets captured by the Vulture. The Vulture goes to drop him into the water, and then he's drowning and dying, or he's gonna hit the ground and die. But then Mr. Tony Stark comes and saves him via the suit, but he's not in the suit. He's holding a martini in India.
Oh, that's right.
And he's like, "Kid, you're stupid. Like, I'll take care of this. You just do your kid stuff." And Spider-Man's like, "But I don't want to do the kid stuff. I want to do the Spider-Man stuff." And Tony's like, "Shut up." And then Peter goes on a class trip to Washington, D.C. I feel like something else probably happens here. But on the trip to D.C., him and Ned figure out how to break into the suit and hack it so that he can unlock all of his potential, including Karen, his little speaky lady. He's going to do his class stuff and do a tour of Washington, D.C., but he actually can't do the decathlon because he has to go see a man about a vulture, and he's spying on some guys talking about the Triskelion and how they're going to scavenge the Triskelion, and he goes into kill mode and then gets out of kill mode because he realizes that's murder.
Can't murder.
You can't make those guys other people's uncles.
No more Uncle Ben's about.
You can't make an Uncle Ben here.
No rice.
Oh God. So then Who's telling the story here? And then the Vulture comes and attacks, and using some kind of portal thing, Peter gets stuck inside a truck, and that's when he shows up to the Supermax location you were talking about.
Yeah, and he's like spilling his feelings to Karen.
Yeah, all about what's her face? I can't think of her name.
I think it was Veronica.
It's not Veronica. It's not Linda. Liz. It's Liz Allen. I knew it started with an L.
It was Liz.
Then he escapes the thing, the Max prison, and finds out that Ned's thing is explosive and is going to explode the entire Washington Monument. And then they're at the top of the monument, and Peter's like, I'm a little afraid of heights, and this is the first time we actually see him climbing up high.
Oh yeah, and he did not pack his parachute.
Yeah, well, he kind of used it earlier, and then he does a little loop-de-loop and breaks into the Washington Monument, saves his pals, tries to kiss Liz Allen, but kind of doesn't work out for him.
Yeah, takes a little fall.
Takes a tumble. Here we see Vulture look at the TV concerned because he sees Spider-Man still alive after he thinks he's dead. That's definitely why he's concerned at the screen and no other reason.
Nope, definitely not his daughter being there.
And then Mr. Parker asks Liz Allen to go to prom with him. Shockingly, she says yes, even though this kid's aloof as fuck, never around when you need him.
Yeah, he's kind of, it doesn't pay off for her either because he doesn't go to prom.
Listen, she should have known by this point. To be fair, he does go to prom. He just leaves her at prom.
Yeah.
I believe this is the point where... Oh, no, sorry. There's a whole fairy thing.
Yeah. Vulture's a fairy, basically, and cuts that thing in half.
Well, all of his guys are on there, and Peter starts doing some moves. One of those moves is the move that Steve Rogers used on him back in Civil War, and he starts kicking ass, and then Vulture shows up and goes, explosion! And then he's like, let me just web all this together. Ouchie, my arms hurt.
Yeah, because he's doing the trying to pull it back, the ship together. Thank God Tony Stark shows up with them.
He's having his ultimate chest day.
Big chest day.
His big that's how you get the gains. Doing that with two halves of a yacht, or not a yacht, a ferry.
He's really he's flexing on them bitches.
Then Tony shows up, puts it all together into pieces, and then scolds Mr. Parker.
Yeah, and then there's that guy who's like, yeah, Spider-Man. Then Tony Stark saves the day, and he's like, yeah, Iron Man.
There's that guy. I forgot about that guy. He scolds Peter. It says, if you don't have this, or if you're nothing without the suit, then you don't deserve it, which is a lesson that he learned in Iron Man 3. It's literally the exact lesson he learned in Iron Man 3.
He's passing it down, and he's mentoring Mr. Parker.
Here's like, well, what am I supposed to wear home? And then he gets some big old clothes.
Gets like a hoodie, some swimming goggles, and a
Taurus shirt.
Yeah.
And then Aunt May's worried about him. But then he's going to prom with the hottest girl in school. So what does it matter?
What does it matter?
So he goes to prom, picks up his prom date, and bada bing, bada boom. It's his whole pal Vulture Boy.
Yep.
Who would have guessed?
Mr. Vulture Boy.
Mr. Vulture Guy, man.
He's it's Mr. Vulture Man.
Imagine, the first time I saw this movie, I did not see that coming, and it was amazing. There's like no indication the only time he mentions having a kid is at the beginning of the film, and I wasn't paying attention the first time I saw it.
Well, in the original Spider-Man,
yeah,
Tobey Maguire is having dinner with the Hobgoblin guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they kind of figure out who each other is. So I was like, this is kind of like the first one.
That's based in the comics. In the comics, Liz Allen is just Liz Allen. She has no relation to Vulture.
Okay, well, I saw it coming. I want that to be.
Don't be so stupid. Anyway.
You're the stupid one for not seeing it coming.
Anyway, then they go to prom, and Mr. Vulture slowly figures out that Peter isn't socially awkward. He actually is Spider-Man.
Yeah, he figures that out, and then he's like, "What you're gonna do now, Peter, is forget all this ever happened."
It's actually a pretty terrifying moment.
Yeah,
he's literally threatening this 16-year-old kid with a gun.
It happens.
More than you would like in this country.
Yeah. And then Peter's like, "You know what? Thanks for coming to prom with me, but I gotta dip. And basically go fight your daddy."
He may not be your father, but I'm your daddy, boy. And then he lifts up the locker and gets his old Spider-Man suit.
Yep, and then he goes and has the tussle with Mr. Vulture Man.
Yeah, who's attacking a plane that Happy's trying to load out of the Avengers Tower.
Yeah, he's trying to get all that supplies so they can continue to make these weapons and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then the Vulture suit gets pretty damaged.
It's true. He hits his wing on a jet.
Peter's like, "No, stop, the suit's damaged." But the guy's still trying to fly off with this crate of supplies. He crashes and burns.
He does crash and burn. That is an accurate description of what happens there.
Yeah, and then Peter Parker saves him just in time for him to go to jail.
Yeah, perfect. You know, you love a good jail story.
Yeah, and that's one of the end credits. He's in jail talking to a guy who's like, "Word on the street is you know who this Spider-Man character is." And he's like, "If I knew who he was, I'd kill him."
That's true. He's one of them loyal ones.
Yeah, and then Captain America's like, in the second end credits screen, like, "How many more of these do I have to do?"
Yeah, you also missed the part where Liz Allen is just absolutely pissed off and has to move.
Oh, what was that?
Yeah. She sees Peter at the end of the movie, and she's like leaving the office with her mom crying because she has to move schools.
Get out of here.
And we also find out that MJ is MJ.
Mary Jane?
She's not actually Mary Jane, though. It's like Martha Anderson or something stupid.
That would be M.A.
It's Martha Jones. Maybe it is Martha Jones. It's something really dumb, though.
Zendaya.
And they're like, "You're actually MJ." And she's like, "Okay, basically Mary Jane, but just not Mary Jane."
Very convenient for them to change that.
Anyway, that is Spider-Man Homecoming. So you know what comes next. Here I tell you some of them fun facts. Now I got a whole gander of those fun facts for this movie.
A flock of facts.
A flock of facts indeed. Jacob, in the beginning of this film, after the flashback scene, there is text that reads 8 years later. This has been addressed by Marvel Studios as a continuity error, as a continuity error and a mistake, as Civil War only takes place approximately 4 years after Avengers, putting Spider-Man Homecoming taking place around September of 2016, only 4.5 years after the Avengers.
Idiots.
Yeah, Sony really fucked that one up. That's part of that whole, because this isn't a Disney movie, this is a Sony movie, as you may know.
Yeah, because Sony had the rights to Spider-Man.
And they still do, and they'll never let them go.
Never ever.
But yeah, so since this wasn't Disney, they all flopped the bucket here. Next fun fact, the original Spider-Man theme was redone into an orchestral theme for the MCU opening credits. Throughout the film, Peter's phone gets more and more cracked until it looks like a spider web.
Too many PlayStation 4 controllers going off the phone screen.
Dude, he is not careful with this phone. It starts with one crack and then it's just like the spider web.
That's actually an homage to the fact that he is Spider-Man.
No. Who would have guessed?
Not I.
Betty Brant was one of Peter's first love interests in the comics, and she worked for the Daily Bugle as J. Jonah's secretary.
Why was there no J. Jonah Jameson in here?
He doesn't come around until the third one.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as he makes an appearance.
He will. You'll see him. You'll see that guy. And don't worry, because we are going to watch the original Spider-Mans as well.
Phew.
We're also going to watch Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, Venom 1, Venom 2, Morbius, and I'm forgetting something, but we're going to watch something else in there too.
Oh boy.
Oh, all the Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man.
Oof.
The URL of the YouTube video pulled up of Spider-Man is actually the real-life URL of the first Spider-Man Homecoming trailer.
How convenient of them.
Cindy Moon is another classmate of Peter's we see in his decathlon club. In the comics, she becomes the spider hero known as Silk. And in the comics, she literally can't be in a room with Peter because she has to fuck him. If they stay in a room too long together, their hormones go off and they both need to just get it on.
That's crazy. MJ must not like that.
She's not around for those comics, I'm pretty sure.
Well, let the bugs bug, I guess.
Aunt May's license plate reads AMF 1562, which is a reference to Spider-Man's debut in Amazing Fantasies issue 15, released in 1962. Donald Glover appears as the third main cast member of Community to appear in the MCU.
When are we getting Chevy Chase in here?
If I had to guess, never.
Probably not.
Feels like he's not welcome here.
I don't think he's welcome at many movie studios, to be honest with you.
Now, here's a fun fact about Donald Glover. Donald Glover is tightly connected to the Spider-Man role, as he was a fan favorite to take over the role of Peter Parker when they were recasting for the Amazing Spider-Man movies. And that fan outcry led to the creation of Miles Morales in the comics, who was loosely based off of Donald Glover himself. Donald Glover then went on to voice Miles Morales in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. In Community, there is also a scene in which Troy, played by Glover, appears in Spider-Man's PJs.
Community confirmed MCU.
And also in this film, Donald Glover plays Aaron Davis, who in the comics is Miles Morales' uncle.
Criminal.
He is a criminal, yes.
Yeah. Peter Parker said so.
But he is Miles Morales, who will become Spider-Man. He is his uncle.
Uncle Donald.
Yeah, Aaron is Miles Morales' uncle, and Miles Morales becomes Spider-Man. What do we know about all uncles? We'll learn more about that when we talk into the Spider-Verse.
He should avoid going outside.
Yeah, Jake, I don't even think you know how accurate what you said is. While Spider-Man is running through the suburbs, the shot of him running yard to yard is a nod to Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which features a similar shot.
You mentioned that, yes.
While chasing Spider-Man, the Vulture silhouettes in the moon and appears to look like the bat signal from Batman for a brief moment. This is a nod to Michael Keaton's time as Batman in the 1989 films.
Now he's a vulture.
Now he's Vulture Man.
Vulturing shipments from Tony Stark.
Jennifer Connelly, who played Betty Ross in the 2003 Hulk movie, arguably worse than the 2008 Incredible Hulk movie, voices Peter's suit AI Karen. Funny enough, she's married to Paul Bettany, who previously voiced Jarvis and became Vision.
They're just really good at voicing suits.
They're really good at voicing suits, yes.
They're a power suit couple.
Oh my god. I'm moving on to the next one. Aaron Davis's rap sheet lists his alias as Prowler, which is his villain name in the comics.
It's your villain name in the comics.
His other alias is Brian Pincelli, a nod to the creators of Miles Morales, Aaron's nephew in the comics. Aaron's license plate reads UCSM01, a reference to the Ultimate Comics Spider-Man issue 01 that debuts of Miles Morales.
Or the community college he went to.
Yeah. I mean, Miles is 14, but yeah, the community college he went to.
Yeah. Our 14-year-old.
In a deleted scene, we see Aaron talking to Miles on the phone, telling him he's not going to make it to dinner.
Well, yeah, you train into Spider-Man? You think you're going to make it to dinner? Come on.
But it confirms Miles Morales exists in the MCU. One of the license plates on the ferry reads HTD003. This is a nod to Howard the Duck issue 3, in which he takes the Staten Island ferry.
It's a little much.
It's in there. It's a confirmed Easter egg.
It's a little much.
I know the Howard the Duck Easter eggs. What do you want from me? When Spider-Man is lifting the rubble off himself, it's a shot-for-shot recreation of the panels in Amazing Spider-Man 33. Mm-hmm. And that's all my fun facts. Time. Unless it seems like you had a question.
No, it's just that ended a lot sooner than I thought. You told me you had like 30 of them. That was only like 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It was 20, sorry.
Oh, okay.
But don't worry, I have...
Well, I think you said you had 20 connections, so maybe you have 30 connections.
I have 26 connections, so close.
Okay.
All right, well...
in that way here.
Let me tell you about the connections.
Boop, 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 boop.
So, first connection. Tomb's crew is cleaning up Chitauri tech at the foot of the future Avengers Tower, including the same Leviathan Hulk took down in the Avengers film.
So these guys, does this Chitauri tech not have the disease or the bacteria that we see in S.H.I.E.L.D.? Remember when they had the people that were like levitating and they would explode?
That guy just was sick with space bacteria.
Yeah, but he got it from the Chitauri.
Yeah, it was just that one Chitauri had it.
Just the one.
It was like running into the guy. Like, let's say like we went and we're scalping a war or whatever, and like we pulled a helmet and we put it on and we got COVID. It's like we just got the one guy with COVID's helmet.
It's like the first guy that shook hands with the Wuhan bat guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. So it's fine. This Chitauri tech is fine.
Yeah.
Tomb's body armor is salvaged Chitauri armor that was also used on Hydra agents in Civil War. In Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, okay.
They might have actually gotten that technology from Hydra and not straight from the Chitauri stuff.
Okay. I could see that being a possibility.
In Peter's home movie at the beginning of the film, we see a glimpse of the World Fair globe. Peter's probably remembering that time he almost died at the Stark Expo.
Kids have no places in movies.
Yeah, but he was in that movie as young Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he was at the World Fair Expo where that World Fair globe was that he's looking at the beginning of the film.
Unsupervised. That's probably where Uncle Ben died.
It definitely isn't. But
here's actually what happened, I'm thinking. All right, Peter Parker there with Mom, Dad, and Uncle Ben. They all dead. Forever sleep.
Maybe one day
he
we'll
has
learn.
to go live with Aunt May. No.
Uh-oh. Could happen. Could be the case.
Highly theorized.
Highly alleged.
Yep. Tony Stark actually killed Uncle Ben to try to get at Aunt May there.
Yeah, probably. Tony makes a comment that Happy used to be forehead of security, which is a callback to a joke he made in Iron Man 3 calling Happy forehead of security when Happy FaceTimed him with his forehead. In Peter's mini text to Happy, you can see he texted, "How's Black Widow?" or should I say Natasha? He also texted he's quitting marching band, which Tony later uses to catch Peter in a lie.
Oh, yeah, with the fairy.
Yeah, that's because you can see the text at the beginning of the film that he's sending to Happy.
Oh, I think one of the best lines in the movie. It's like Peter when they're going to Washington D.C. and Peter's talking to Happy and Happy's like, "I decide what's okay." He's like, "And this is okay."
Dude, Happy in the Spider-Man movies is my favorite Happy because he becomes a main character in 2 and 3.
Yeah.
The mural of scientists at Peter's school includes a portrait of Howard Stark.
I thought you were going to say Howard the Duck.
I can see why you would think that, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
A photo of Bruce Banner hangs in Peter's science class amongst many well-known physicists.
Well, he's a good physicist.
Peter's decathlon club teacher is the same guy Bruce Banner gave pizza to in The Incredible Hulk while he was still in grad school. He just happened to be cast as this. The same guy just happened to be cast as this teacher, and they said, "Yeah, it's the same guy."
Makes sense.
While fighting the guys with Avengers masks, Peter says, "Thor, Hulk, nice to finally meet you guys." Since they weren't in Civil War, Peter has never met them in person up to this point.
They're doing other stuff there.
Yeah, they're busy. They were doing space stuff.
Oh, they sure were. Maybe we'll find out in the next movie.
Yeah, next week, maybe.
Maybe.
Next to the Thai restaurant is a Korean Church of Asgard. Kind of weird, but it's there.
Yeah.
People worship Asgard now on this planet. Peter's Principal Merida, is the grandson of the Howling Commando Jim Merida, both played by Kenneth Chow. This is the second grandchild of a Howling Commando that we've met.
It's very convenient for them to put these all in there.
This one is played by the same guy who played the guy from Captain America, though. In the PSA, Captain America appears in. In the PSA, Captain America appears in. He's wearing his 2012 suit, showing he most likely recorded these not too long after the Battle of New York. As he, in the next movie has a whole different suit.
Yeah, he's kind of, he's like, I'm going to make a lot of money off this cleanup here, so let's get some PSAs out there.
Oh, boy. No, Tony was making all the money. He made his money off of PSAs.
Yeah.
Shocker tries to sell Aaron Davis a gun built from Ultron's arm that was found in Sokovia. He also has Chitauri railguns, anti-grav climbers, and black hole grenades, all we've seen previously in Marvel films.
I would have bought them all.
You'd be the ultimate Marvel supervillain.
Yeah. I would use them for good.
It'd be the age of Jake-tron.
Juicy-tron.
Juicy-tron. Nope. Moving on. The Shocker Gauntlet was crafted from Crossbones' Gauntlet in Civil War.
Good old Crossbones.
On their way to DC, the class passes a construction sign that says Triskelion Cleanup. The Triskelion is what was destroyed in Winter Soldier. I think it was 2 years ago up to this point.
They're still cleaning that thing up. That's a big building.
It was not only a building, it was also 3 helicarriers.
Yeah, there's a lot of debris, so you can't just pick that up overnight.
Peter overhears Tomb's men talking about scavenging the cleanup of the Triskelion, as well as the Lagos cleanup. Lagos being the place where, Wanda did her little... It made things explode. Peter finds Ultron's turnkey for his device while stuck in the cleanup crew truck. He also finds an Ultron head whose eyes are still glowing, which may signal that Ultron is still alive.
It's highly theorized.
The red eye glowing was used to signify when Ultron was being inhabited by Ultron.
He's just looking for some old body to attach himself to there, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be kind of crazy if Ultron comes back.
Maybe he does.
Maybe in a way. Maybe he fights Uatu.
Oh, wow. That would be something.
He also finds Aaron mentions his nephew who lives in Brooklyn, most likely Miles Morales, who eventually becomes Spider-Man in the comics.
Sorry, Aaron, you're gonna die.
Well, just wait till Into the Spider-Verse. While Peter is fighting the guys on the ferry, he does a pull webs roll and kick move Cap used on him in Civil War.
I think you mentioned that as well, yes.
It's just like the exact same thing Cap did to him.
Quick learner, this Peter Parker.
This Peter Parker guy, pretty smart.
Almost
like he's smart. Well educated.
Yeah, he's in the nerd club.
While packing up, Happy mentions the Hulkbuster armor, a prototype cap shield, and Thor's magic belt. Because he can't pronounce what Thor's magic belt actually is, and neither can I.
Spell it out for me. I'm going to give this a go.
No, I didn't write it down, so I don't have it.
Okay. I'd like to think it's called like Clarence or something.
No, it's definitely not.
Okay.
Tony's Mark 42 armor from Iron Man 3 is aboard the plane.
That's good.
That's a good place for it.
Yeah.
Peter watches Tomb's arrest from above the cyclone at Coney Island. The cyclone at Coney Island was a place that Bucky forced Steve to go on in the 30s, and Steve puked on it. I thought that was an important tad bit of information. And then the final connection. Tony offers Peter the Iron Spider armor, but he declines.
For now. It was a test.
Now. We also see Stan Lee yelling at Spider-Man from a window at a point.
Yeah, and then he has a nice friendly chat with his neighbor.
And that's Spider-Man. We've done Spider-Man.
We're done. It's over. No more Spider-Man ever.
That's not true. You'll have a lot of Spider-Man very soon.
I rate it 3.4 out of 10 for a movie.
What the fuck? This is like one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Trash.
What?
Right above Incredible Hulk.
No, you're lying. You think it's under Iron Fist?
Yeah, Iron Fist was so good, dude.
All right. Well, that's the end of Marvel Cinematic University forever. We're never coming back if Jake's opinions are this bad. But make sure if you still want to see us, go follow us on Twitter, X, Threads, CaptainAmerica.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe. That helps us out a lot. Maybe even like a little bit, one of them 5-star ratings. We could definitely use one of those.
You make a couple burners, give us some more 5-star ratings.
Yeah, if you feel like this was bad, still give us a 5-star rating, but feel free to just shit talk us in the comment of it. But the 5-star still helps.
Yeah. It's all about the stars.
Yeah, it's all about the stars.
I actually liked the movie though. Wasn't my favorite, but I liked it.